Good morning. The PocketChip video is doing oddly well for something that is so dead. But I suppose it's probably esoteric enough that there's not, or specific, esoteric is not the right word, not a lot of info about it recently, so perhaps that's what's kicking it off. What a moon. Wow, wow, wow. So I had promised to put together a GitHub of all the links and scripts that I had put together for it to get your PocketChip back up and running, up to date and all that. And I pulled out the PocketChip because I hadn't been using it and set it to charge so that I could use it, turned it on, and then like, yes, maybe I'll shut it down now. And when I hit shut down, it froze and didn't go anywhere. And I had left it on, idle for a couple days probably, which is not, I've done it before, but for whatever reason this time it just locked up on the shutdown. And I was able to plug a keyboard into it and get into a proper terminal, like the Control-Alt F1 terminal, and it said too many files open, and it couldn't start the shutdown process. So I said, well, let's see what happens, because it was just frozen up. So I forced the shutdown, and good night. It corrupted the file system, which, like I said, is somewhat to be expected. So the new challenge is going to be developing scripts and processes for, well, basically developing a GitHub package and a script that will do all of the installation, all of the upgrading, catch everything up to a certain level. We'll probably have multiple stopping points for you to get, update the package manager and then run all updates, and then add some important bits of software, compile whatever bits that I normally use, stuff you might not use, but just a little bit more automated, so that when this happens again, I can just plug it in, short the pins so it's programmable, run the program, load the script, and then run it, and that's it. We'll get Wi-Fi first, but so this is my opportunity to double check all the scripts and all the links and all the instructions and all the notes that I have on how to get it rebuilt, because so far the rebuilding process has been a piecemeal one of figuring out what's wrong and then updating it and tweaking things and then saving those tweaks to a file. And so this will be a one-stop shop for getting your PocketChip up and running, particularly after a failure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't even know what the lifetime on these things are supposed to be, so it's just kind of weird. Let's see what else. So that'll be fun coming up. Put that together, and then hopefully everyone else will have a much easier time of rebuilding their PocketChip if anything happens to it. But yeah, this is the difference between here's what I think you should do and here's what I know works because I did it just now, which is probably better, because things that don't work straight out of the box tend to result in GitHub issues and conversations and back and forths, and it becomes more time consuming and more cumbersome. But that PocketChip though, right? Still, I rewatched the video and I have nothing to disagree with. It's somewhat frustrating because it's so good in so many ways and comes short in so many ways too. So it's just like right in the middle. I don't know. Maybe I should put together some more Raspberry Pi handhelds. I'll figure something out. Not that I have a particular use for them right now, but I'm not... See, I also haven't been feeling well. And then, like, after I got better and started to kind of recover and do some work, I hurt my back. And then it's been winter, which is just fine. And I could probably look back at my previous vlogs and find that winter is a non-creative time or a uncreative time for me. So it's just cycles. I should just accept it, you know, learn to love it. Other things I could and should be working on, but interesting. Fun toys that you get to give your kids and then show them how to play with it and then go, okay, that's enough. That's enough. Play with this when I'm not around. Right, so let's see. Oh, I'm still awaiting those mics with the test footprints. So that'll be nice, because I'm pretty sure I don't know. I might just start from scratch. You know, build a... I don't even know what I would call it. I don't know if it's a Signum 4 or what. Maybe I'll just wait on the name. Something that has the hot swap. I'll probably have a grid only layout with numbers. So I don't know, we'll see. It should be interesting. Oh, I have been using Vexas more, and it primarily excels in my life, at least, in annoying me, which is hence the name Vexas. Setting it up so that I have reminders to, hey, just do this thing, and then I have to keep snoozing the alarm, and I snooze it, you know, I set it for 5 minutes or 15 minutes based on what I think is appropriate, and then having it come back and be annoying to me is frustrating to me, to the point that I just do the thing and get rid of it. So I'm like, this is not that important right now, but it's really annoying, and I'm just going to take care of it, and now it's done. And this is some kind of, I don't know, it's some kind of mind hack for me. It's some kind of mental trick to get me to actually accomplish the things that I'm trying to accomplish. It's just annoy myself to the point that I just get so frustrated that I just do it. And I don't know, I think I'm just really good at rationalizing, like, oh yeah, I'll get that in a little bit, you know. And it's easy, especially for the snooze button. The snooze button just adds 5 minutes, so it's easy to confront myself with the reality of, oh yeah, I'll do that in 5 minutes. Click. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, whoa, it's already been 5 minutes? I need to do that. I'll give myself 5 more minutes. The other thing, and this is probably the most valuable, is it gives my mind these breakpoints. And see, when I'm bouncing around, this is, you know, total ADD nonsense, but like it's novel and interesting and fun to bounce around between different things, and not, you know, it's harder to stop and focus and pour yourself into something. And I absolutely don't want anything interrupting me while I'm, you know, developing some new function on the machine. This is the machine code, the armature code. Never mind. I don't want to be interrupted when I'm doing that, but when I'm bouncing between short tasks, you know, do this, check on that. This is how I am optimized, it seems. But if I do that too much, I get in this loop of just kind of bouncing back and forth, and then I lose track of the thing that's not immediately in front of my face, and lose track of time for it. So having Vexas pop up and annoy me and break that thought process of, oh wait, yeah, I was going to do that thing, yeah, I should do that now, is very valuable, because when I don't have Vexas chirping and annoying me, I usually look up at the clock and I'm like, oh, it's 1 p.m. Like, what happened to this day? I didn't accomplish half of what I wanted to accomplish. And then with Vexas, I look up and go, oh, it's 9:30. Nice. It was saving time, getting time back, but it's just harder to get sucked into things when you have that interruption, or rather, get sucked into things that you don't want to get sucked into. Even responses, like I can be very detailed and very specific in the responses, and especially if it's interesting to me, and the keyboards are interesting to me, I can get long-winded. And it's this guy didn't really need all this information, or this guy should look it up somewhere else. It's not my job to give this excess of information to this guy, so perhaps I could just leave it here. Getting sucked into stuff and then having Vexas call you back. wait, you forgot. Very good for, I guess it's good for focus and bad for focus. You just have to pick your battles, pick what you're going to be doing at that time, agree to it, and then ask Vexas to interrupt you, to annoy you. Fun fact, the original name of Vexas was Annoyotron, the Annoyotron 5000. Just because I needed to be annoyed, because all the other timers were not working. And by timers were not working, I mean I would ignore them, or they would go off and I would say, oh yeah, I'll remember to do that, and then immediately forget. So it is a little silly to look at something and be like, oh yeah, I'll do that right now, right after this, 5 minutes. And then 5 minutes later, oh yeah, I was going to do that. Yeah, I'll do that right now, 5 minutes. And then, like, with the intention of doing it, and it still keeps going off because I don't clear it until it's done, like completely done, even if it interrupts me while I'm doing it. So it always comes back. It has to get done. That works well. We're just figuring out what works well with our lives and our workflow and our brains, because it is very clear that people work very differently. People work differently, learn differently, make friends differently. I think there's a finite number of learning styles and working styles and all that, but I think there's no doubt that they are different. Probably got like a dozen or something. That's my theory on the health science thing. It's like you get the health science people being like, oh, well, I did this and it worked perfectly for me, and the other person says, well, I did this, I did exactly what you did, and it worked horribly for me. Maybe people are different, lol. lmao. Like, are we not able to consider this? Oh, maybe we're not. Maybe we're not able to consider that people are different. Maybe that's the problem, at least in the Western world here. No, these are the same. Yeah, man lives on the equator and on the Arctic Circle, and you stand two of them next to each other and say, these are the same. And then you say, now get married, and say, this is normal. Yeah, we deal in reality here, because the ones and zeros, the chips, the logic does not lie. I'm gonna stare directly into the sun here. Always have a driving hat with you. A cap, rather, that you can pull low over your eyes for safety. Well, that's all I got. Have a good day. Merry Christmas.